This show is presented by FL Teams. Check out FLTeams.com, your go-to one-stop shop for all Florida sports coverage. Also, check out at FL Teams on social media. This is Hahi 305. I'm your host, James, and happy Labor Day, everyone. We celebrate this holiday to recognize the contributors of the labor movement, military, fund, and everything. We say thank you for this amazing holiday. And because of that, I was able to celebrate with y'all. And the way to celebrate with y'all for today is we talk about what's going on around the Miami sports. Um, and we should start off by poking the bear a little bit because I think this needs to be again addressed of what's been happening and the fact that it's still an ongoing issue. It really mind boggles me, and it really mind boggles a lot of people in the Miami area. And if you know what I'm talking about, we are talking about the Miami Marlins. What the hell? They are, they just look lifeless. They are lifeless. And um, a lot of things that could have went wrong could actually turn out to be wrong. Ever since that Jazz Chisholm injury, right? Through his he was expected to come back some point around the All-Star break. And it turns out that that injury that he had, as he was selected to become an All-Star in the month of July, right? We didn't know that that injury he was expected to come back could actually turn out to be a season-ending injury. He was put in a 60-day IL a week after the All-Star break. It's the timing is so unbelievable, right? That was our best hitters, our best project hitters. Prospect, not project, prospect. And we had more injuries happening. We had this injury bug that happened. Soler got hurt. Garcia someone got hurt. And then he stank. So to this day, right? Jorge Soler is still in a rehab assignment, trying to get back up to the major leagues. That's not going to happen this season, probably. Before they know it, it's probably too late. Meanwhile, we're stuck with the young talent that is trying. They are trying, but they are just lifeless. The hitting is terrible. The relief pitching is also terrible. The starting pitching has peaked, and it seems as though as Alcantara's, our best pitcher, has also peaked. He can't pitch. None of them can pitch. I still think he can win a Cy Young because he has more complete games than the main teams like the Boston Red Sox, even the Los Angeles Dodgers. Did you know last Saturday, I didn't cover it last week because A, I was under a tight schedule. B, we did an episode last week and I was not able to come back to do a second episode of the week last week because we were talking about the Miami Hurricanes. C, I did not want to talk about the Miami Marlins. Let's be real. But we are going to talk about it. We already are talking about it. But it is something we should know. This is from a Twitter named Luis Adio Wise. 2021, Miami Marlins threw 132 games, 55-75. 55-77. They have a 237 average, 304 and 377. In the offseason, team spends $85 million on Jorge Soler and Avisail Garcia this offseason. 2022, Miami Marlins threw 132 games, 55-77, so it's an identical record off of this horrible losing streak. But 228, 293, and 361. So it seems as though as even with the good moves, our average has lowered than what it was last season. So are you implying that our team was better than last season? I don't know. It seems as though as this team just cannot catch a break. A, we have a horrible leadership. B, I think our head coach has peaked as well. I think he should go. I'm sorry. Don Mattingly is a good person, a good coach, a good manager. It's all in all a good person, but he cannot manage for crap anymore. I think this offseason, this front office needs to be nuked. The coaching staff needs to be nuked. Put guys who are willing to win games and take this more seriously as Don Mattingly would, because he can't do it anymore. He just can't. Because of this, we are under a very long stretch of losing. And right now, as we speak, we are on a 7-game losing streak. That's more of a losing streak than the winning streak back in April. April, we won 7 games in a row. That was the point where we were above 500. We were 4 games above 500. When Jorge Soler was healthy, Garcia was hitting the baseball, Jazz Chisholm is kicking butt. The starting pitchers were really good. We were playing against a team like, granted, we're playing against the Nationals, but we're playing against the Mariners. The Mariners, who are on a hot streak right now. We beat them. We won the series against them in Miami in the month of April. The first winning streak and the games above 500 since 2016. Again, 2016, the team was pretty good. That was a good team back then. We had the big name players who are the biggest names now, and we traded them all away. That's a problem with the front office. We trade them away. They are making a big impact somewhere else. And now it seems like Louis Brinson is making a big name for himself because he just had a walk-off hit against the Phillies. With the San Francisco Giants, I just don't believe what's happening. It's an ongoing problem. And I don't think it'll ever be addressed. And now the paranoia that this team will get relocated somewhere else where they would make the impact. Believe me, as much as this team pains me to watch, don't move. We want the team to succeed in Miami. In. Baseball is very important, believe it or not. All right? Extremely important. And let alone, sports is becoming more important. Soccer, it's making a big name. Football, it's the new leadership and a new regime for both Hurricanes and the Dolphins is becoming important. Hockey is hot. Basketball's and right now, basketball is Miami's the basketball city, right? The Hurricanes are kind of proving it too. It ain't just the Hurricanes; it's the Miami Heat, aka the best team in Miami, right? Miami Heat has always been the best team in Miami. They consistently make the playoffs. Consistently. In fact, I would say it's one of the only Miami teams that would make the playoffs. The only. 2019 has not been a good year. Let's be real. 2019 was probably the worst year of Miami sports. Dolphins were under a terrible losing stretch. The Heat barely missing the playoffs, but we had the moments with Dwayne Wade with his clutch 3 on my dad's birthday. Florida Panthers were their usual selves. The Marlins were their usual selves. Since 2019, Miami sports have risen, really risen up into being a sports city of America. It ain't just Tampa Bay. Let's be real. It ain't just Tampa. Tampa's good ever since Tom Brady came along. But Miami is getting hot. And it's going to get even hotter. If this team right here would actually do something to consistently be good. I don't know. I've said what I said. All in all, I said my piece again for the consecutive time. And I gotta be honest with you, I have not been watching the Marlins games because I just don't think I would enjoy myself watching a Marlins game. A lot of pain has been happening this last couple of weeks, including this one. Donovan Mitchell to Cleveland. So, not much a Miami news, but it kind of is because Miami Heat were involved in the trade talks with Utah Jazz to potentially trade some of their guys to Utah for Donovan Mitchell. You want to know who else was also in the trade talks? The Knicks. Arguably, they offered better than what the Heat offered. and they still couldn't get Donovan Mitchell. I feel bad for the Knicks fans. Um, and then a few days ago, out of nowhere, we get the report saying Donovan Mitchell's been traded. Like, okay, so it's probably a fake report. Then ESPN came out and said Donovan Mitchell's been traded to Cleveland Cavaliers, and I'm like, what? And that goes for everyone too. Our fan base, the Heat fan base, is upset about this. The Knicks fans were upset about this, and Utah is probably upset about it too. Now they're officially in a rebuild year. And speaking of rebuild year, Cleveland Cavaliers were in the rebuild year. They have these young people. They traded the whole. They pretty much traded the whole team slash their draft picks for this guy. Didn't Donovan Mitchell say he wanted to be traded to a competitive team? Cleveland Cavaliers weren't even that competitive. They made it to the play-in, but they weren't as competitive as, say, the Miami Heat, who are the bigger competitor of the Eastern Conference. The Knicks, they always have a hard time being competitive. And I feel bad. They're under a terrible, terrible leadership under James Dolan. Arguably one of the worst executives and owners in NBA to this day in history. Maybe that's why Donovan Mitchell would not go to the Knicks, because he probably did not want to play under James Dolan. And if that's the case, I wouldn't blame him. But if there's a different reason, then I'm sorry. Either you play for the Heat or you play for the Knicks. Either way, those were both good options. You could make a bigger name for yourself in one of these teams, but then he gets traded to Cleveland. That is roughly out of nowhere too. Very interesting, and I'm curious to see how it goes for Donovan Mitchell and his run with the Cleveland Cavaliers. So, what now? What now for the Miami Heat? The offseason is still going on. We're still trying to make a trade. We're still trying to trade away, Duncan Robinson. We just don't know. There could be a three-way trade. There could be a trade to Atlanta Hawks where we get this guy named Cam Reddish, arguably a good, very good offensive player who knows how to assist the basketball and knows how to get the ball movement up to the paint and slam dunks. Him and Bam could be a really, really good duo if the trade would ever happen. But we don't know what's going to happen. The Heat schedule is out. It's only before you know it, the football season is here, which is already here this week. We got Thursday night football, Los Angeles Rams versus the Buffalo Bills. And before you know it, the Miami Dolphins football is going to happen. And before you know it, hockey season happens. Oh, and before you know it, the Heat basketball happens. So time is ticking, pal. Time is ticking. We barely made any moves. We just re-signed players like Mitchell Oladipo, Dwayne Dedman. We signed some rookie talents like Orlando Robinson, Nikola Jovic. We drafted this dude. He could be a good player. I think he's already a good player. He proved himself to be a good player in the summer league. So no doubt he'll probably make the roster. Udonis Haslem comes back for his final year, making his promise to his dad. PJ Tucker going off to Philadelphia. What's going on? What's going on? I like to know. I think all of us have a right to know. So, with that, let's talk about the positives. The Heat thing wasn't much of a positive. It's just a matter of, it's a wonder. What happens? We like to know. I think we set our piece with the Florida Panthers. The hockey season's coming up. They're playing against the Islanders. The team of Long Island. And yeah. So let's talk about football. Miami Hurricanes versus Bethune Cookman Wildcats. One of fellow Florida schools in Daytona Beach, by the beach and by the airport. So with Bethune Cookman, trying to make the name, they are in the conference called Southwestern Athletic. That's their division school. Florida A&M is also a part of that conference as well, believe it or not. But yeah, we played against them from Daytona Beach. Played in Hard Rock Stadium, and the attendance in Hard Rock Stadium has exceeded its own since last season. Again, the attendance have grown even higher or tied it from the last year's total attendance record. And it's crazy. It's crazy the atmosphere of the game. I love it. The place is packed. It was packed. Granted, some people left early, because it was an easy game. I'm not saying that the attendance rate is better than the Florida Gators attendance because the Gators, their attendance was actually really, really good. And I would take it too. So the attendance for that game, 56,795 fans. First time since Miami hosted Louisville in 2019, Hurricanes have had lost 50,000 people in the game. 2020, well, COVID year. Well, we can't really count the COVID year because of BS. And last year's 2-4 start didn't bring them out to droves. That is a tweet from Manny Navarro, making a good tweet. 57,000 folks. 56,000, almost 57. But anyway, to the Hurricanes, a recap. Tyler Van Dyke is playing football. We also had a hat trick, and our defense have taken over the second half after a pretty good leadership. I'll talk about this. So, we have a field goal from Dylan Mulcahy. It was a 29-yard field goal. Immediately after, takes over. And Thaddeus Franklin Jr., a running back, makes it a 4-yard run. That's 7-3. And then Henry Parrish Jr., 5-yard run, makes it 14-3. This kid is good, Henry Parrish. And I'll tell you how he's good. He also run a 6-yard run after. And this was after the interception. It was an interception. And he scores a touchdown. Another one from Henry Parrish. That's his second of the game. Following an interception, a pick six, a juke to the end zone. 28-3 now. Oh, sure. 28-3. It is kind of a scare because afterwards, Gilbert Frierson, 13-yard interception return. Quashon Bride, 34-yard pass from Jalen Jones to make it 10-28. I'm like, no. Could you imagine if that would actually be the case? This would be a meme all around. But no, because Xavier Restrepo, I can't pronounce the name. I'm sorry. 16-yard pass from Tyler Van Dyke, 10-35. And then Henry Parrish Jr. again. He has a hat trick touchdown. 3 touchdowns scored in the game for this man. 10-42. Third quarter, only the field goal for Bethune Cookman, Dylan Mulcahy, 13-49. Thaddeus Franklin Jr., his second touchdown, 56-13. This was after this touchdown from Van Dyke with Michael Redding III. So it seems like this Miami offense loves to run. They like to run the football, and they can do it better. They better than they did last. Running was terrible last season, and now the running game seems to be a lot better this season than they were last season. Granted, again, they're playing against a team that is not really well known, but a true test happens when we play against a team like Texas A&M. Then the fourth quarter, Devin Perry with the 4-yard run for a touchdown, 63-13. And then Terrell Walton the second with another running touchdown, 13-70. 70-13 Miami victory. 10 touchdowns. Absolutely insane. You know, the Oregon Ducks fans were talking a lot of crap about us, and they got their butts kicked by Georgia, and because now they're unranked. I think the updated ranking now, Miami is now 9 because the teams that were pretty good were fallen from a better team. Like Notre Dame has fallen, Oregon Ducks definitely fallen. Utah, they've fallen big. They choked at the end zone when they threw an interception to the Florida Gators. And we went from number 16 to number 9. It's a pretty beautiful thing. Let's go Dolphins. NFL season is here. Football season's here. We are just 1 week away, 6 days away. And I'm extremely nervous and I'm extremely excited for this. And I can't wait. I'm going to be there to watch it happen. I'm going to record a vlog to watch it happen. I'm going to react to watch it happen. I am going to lose my mind to watch it happen. Because they're playing against the New England Patriots, our division rival, against a new leadership under Mike McDaniel. Tua playing with Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Edmonds, Kaseki potentially playing. I'm excited. We have a 53-man roster now. I'm excited. But I'm also very nervous because I want to win. We all want to win. Let's be real. We all want to win, especially against the New England Patriots, who've given us a hard time, let alone giving everyone in the AFC East a hard time under Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. You know, Tom Brady, he's good. He went to the Buccaneers because he couldn't take Bill Belichick anymore. But Bill Belichick is still a mastermind coach. So, Tua's getting ready to be the one of the only quarterbacks who are undefeated against Bill Belichick's New England Patriots. It's not going to last forever, but imagine if it does. I don't think so. But I hope it's not this one because I will be there to watch it. I'm going to be ready for it. And that's going to do it for this Labor Day edition of High Heat 305. I hope you enjoyed this video. On behalf of FL Teams, myself, happy Labor Day. And we love you all. And when we do, we'll be right there with you, the entertainment you deserve. All right, folks, FL Teams, signing out, folks. Good night, everybody.